Here's what happened, guys. There are a lot of Americans, including myself, who love the United States and want to see this war with Iran de-escalate and end as soon as possible. War brings devastating consequences. It brings tragedy, tragic loss of life, and chaos. Chaos devastates economies. When I think of the over 1,000 industries here in the US that include small businesses, chaos is really bad for business. And as small business owners, we must prepare for the future, but we cannot forget that we get to define that future. We get to shape the future. There are 36 million small businesses here in the US that employ 45% of the private workforce. That is a big voice. That is a big potential impact for the future. So when we get into partnership with Israel for this war with Iran, it is not crazy as Americans to want to know how does this benefit our country, to want to know how does this strengthen our country or improve our quality of life or help us as business owners or help with the affordability crisis. It's not unreasonable to want to ask those questions and to want to know answers to those questions. And we can get louder about that as small business owners, as builders for America's future. And with this movement, we believe that America's future is a small business renaissance. But we also have to have the conversation as to what is the country that we want to live in. And I want to share a clip with Tucker Carlson. I'm also going to share an update about energy because energy affects all of us. And with this clip, it's something that we have to remember that we have as a fundamental right as an American. Welcome back to the show. Let me get this clip up for you. There we go.
On a fundamental level, a right to know the effects of this war on their countrymen. If Americans are killed, we have a right to know that. And yet there's some indication that we really don't. So as you try to figure out what's going on, keep in mind, you can't really get the full picture because the clampdown on information. And so in the conversation that we're about to have, we're going to go through what we think we know. In some cases, we might be wrong. Just want to be honest about that up front. Very hard to know what the truth is at this stage, really at any stage, but particularly in the face of this kind of censorship. But we're going to try to be as honest as we possibly can and provide as much information as we possibly can, given the limitations, because this war matters, maybe more than most wars.
So we have to understand for ourselves, what is the country that we want to live in for the future that we want to build? Because I don't want to be building a future for a country where the US government lies to us or hides information from us. I want a foundation for this country that is built on truth. And I'm really grateful for podcasters and independent journalists who are seeking out that truth and sharing that with you. That is a commitment I've made with this show, is to seek out the truth and to share it with you, even when it's uncomfortable, when it is even shocking, because I know that it can also give us peace as to an understanding of what is going on and to be informed so that we can then make better decisions moving forward and to right the wrongs. I want a country that is honorable in its actions and that takes accountability for its mistakes. Those mistakes could be the deaths of schoolgirls. And to take the time to figure out who is responsible and to hold them accountable. That is a country that I want to build a future for. And so we've gone through the objectives in the last update about Operation Epic Fury. And we've gotten confusion as to what the timeline's looking like. It continues to extend out. And then with President Trump talking about wanting the unconditional surrender of Iran, what does that look like? And what is our exit plan out of this war? It is not unreasonable to want to know that answer. And the way we can continue to put more pressure into getting that answer is to get louder and to communicate these questions. And that can be through posts online to conversations in person. But the more we talk about this as small business owners, the bigger the impact we could have in making sure that we are understanding where are we moving forward as a country, and then as a society. And I think about for the future that we are building, making sure that we are continuing to move forward towards making America's future a small business renaissance. And that goes back to what I said at the beginning, which is with this war with Iran, how can we de-escalate and end this war as soon as possible? Because what I'm noticing with energy prices, specifically with oil prices, is it's continuing to increase dramatically. And there was some calm this past day with President Trump mentioning that there is going to be and there's a potential, as was said, I'm paraphrasing here, but like potentially that this war could be coming to an end very soon. But what I want to get up for you to take a look at is the price of crude oil. And I shared last time on the show that was at 30, or it was at 79. So let me get it up here so we can see it together. So right now it's at 84. But what I want to highlight here so you can see this is that yesterday it had spiked up to over $100 a barrel. And if we are continuing to move down the path, and as the path that we're on, and as each day we stay in this war, I would not be surprised if the price goes back up to over 100 within the next 48 hours. Would not surprise me. But this is with energy, and I've shared it before here on the show. One of the ways you have less poor people is you make energy cheaper. And so with the increase in the price of energy, as it continues to climb, we're all going to feel that within our economy. The cost of transportation is going to increase. And then from there, it's going to be passed on to the consumer. And we have to prepare for that as small business owners. And this is where we have to continue to raise our standard in how we're doing business. And that goes back to raising the standard in your marketing, raising your standard in customer service, raising your standard in your systems and processes. But that is really important to get ready for the next quarter and to make sure that you have plans in place. Because there is going to be, if we're continuing down this path, we're already going to feel some level of impact. But if we continue to stay on this trajectory, it could get much worse. And I don't want that for us as small business owners. I don't want that as an American. And as I said, it's like I would want to see this war with Iran de-escalate and end as soon as possible. So another update relating to the Strait of Hormuz, which I talked about how this is where 20% of oil exports go through here from the Gulf states. There were reports are out where Iran was laying mines in this waterway, and it's effectively closed. And so each day that it is closed, that has a major impact on the increase in oil prices. But the other reports that I saw that creates concern for me and is something that's important for you to be informed of so you can prepare for this. I believe this could potentially have major impacts for years to come. But there have been areas where oil refineries have been hit in the Gulf region. And that includes in Iran and in Tehran. And that is also in Israel, in Haifa Bay, UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, there have been oil refineries that have been hit, and you may have been seeing some videos too in Tehran with the damage to these oil refineries, and it looked apocalyptic. I don't have a clip ready for you to show you, but this is going to continue, not just have an effect on the area, on the region, but globally. Is going to have a major impact, and we have to prepare for that as small business owners. We're going to feel that personally, potentially with our utility bills, gas prices. Going to be feeling it if you're having to transport products, goods. So when we are prepared for it, we can handle it a little bit easier. But there is going to be major challenge. And in that challenge, we got to continue to raise the standard and to lead by example within our communities, because I would not be surprised moving forward in the future where there is more chaos if we continue down the path that we're headed. And so we could experience that here, even within our country, more chaos. And so as small business owners, I do believe we are the future leaders of this country. And so this is going to be a moment where it's to prepare for your strategies moving forward and to make sure that we are aware of what's going on. So that is the update I want to share with you. If you are a small business owner that wants to connect with other small business owners in person who care about this country, who love this country, then you can join us in Charleston, South Carolina on January 14th and 15th at A Future Fest. This is in 2027. And you can connect with over 300 small business owners that want to build America's future and make America's future a small business renaissance, but to build on a foundation of truth and of a country where we make sure that we remind ourselves that the government is there to serve us, the American people, and that we cannot forget that. And as small business owners, we are the builders for this future. And we've got to continue to remind ourselves of that and how powerful of an impact we can have in shaping that future. So see you guys tomorrow.